of. Oh wait, but I just have to consider what happened last game. Can a fast draft win in NA?
We've seen it happen. We've seen it happen. Not in this matchup quite yet, but perhaps this is going to be the game. You could really snowball as well with a bounty hunter. That is his kind of one benefit, especially because he brings gold to the rest of the team. He's a get rich and make everyone rich with you kind of hero.
Yeah, that's true. If there's ever, yeah, this is a good lineup to go for quickly. You have also a fair amount of push once you get like the minute 15 shard on Viper, and you have the option as well to go for Axe on Razor later on. I think it's actually pretty solid.
Oh, one skeleton walk, shadow walk. Pardon me. He's not a clink, silly me. Very different abilities.
Yeah, one gives movement speed, the other one gives movement slow. Ray hits the Lina just to show he's like, I am useful. I do so much early. Level 1 Shadow Walk, though, that's, I mean, if you ever talk to a useless laner, you know, that's going to do absolutely nothing in the lane.
I don't really know if Braxy should have been up there, but now he's experiencing the pain. Nightmare taking a level 1, and we're even going to steal the damage from the Bane, and he will not live. Wage is not going to get that the link broken, so he's going to get that attack from the low ground. Big old Dragon Slaying catches 4, but that's a beautiful jump onto the bushwhack there from Sanctified. I think that's going to be that for the early engagements, but still an early lead for 5ManMidas thanks to 2 kills. Maybe a third if Gatua sticks around.
Of course, Richie means jump, like the projectile jumps, right? Because that's what Bushwhack projectile is doing, is halfway alive, really. And you're right, that ended up being a really good engagement from Midas, who also wants to lead this early game. And also, if you look at the skills they went for, like, the DK Dragon Tail is okay, I would say, for the... Well, I guess you have to go for this against a Razor. I would say that usually you want Dragon's Blood in a lane where you're going to lose. Dragon Tail is much more of an aggressive spell, where you can actually deny creeps and stuff. But against Razor, you need to be able to disjoint that. Still going to be a suffering of a lane, though. And especially when Bounty Hunter reaches level 2, because he gets Janata. And all of a sudden, then, not only can DK not farm, but DK won't even be able to use his passive gold, you know?
Well, speaking of level 1s, RL did have to take, well, he felt pressure to take poison attack level 1 to get the kill onto Bane, which means that this first wave, anyway, is a lot easier for P1. Lots of Vipers will just take first point in Corrosive Skin to really help with this matchup, and it does end up hurting the Lina early. There's now the second point, so not a big deal because it's the mid lane, but the first 4 CS are flawless for P1, which might not have been the case if it was Corrosive Skin level 1.
Well, you could have also not missed, right? Like, because Corrosive Skin, you just play like you have no skills, essentially, but you're better at tanking, right? So, I think it might have gone a bit similar. Though your points are still very true, though. Definitely Corrosive Skin is the way to play this matchup. And Nether Toxin trick is no longer common, because Nether Toxin no longer pushes the wave as effectively.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you use poison attack very much against Alina anyway, right?
Yeah, you're right. Like, that point is kind of useless in this lane. It is useful, I think, still to max it, because you've got to be able to do something afterwards, right?
Of course, yeah, of course, but usually whatever, I mean, it's not that big of a
Bottom.
deal. Is it?
Bottom, Godsey.
Bounty.
Yep, that's going to be a kill. Gets Janata as well now, so this lane has become impossible for Monster. I do question, like, I see very few lanes are, like, truly impossible, but this might be one of them for a DK. It's not like this hero has many avenues to outplay your opponents. You're a walking stun, really. So I am curious as to what Monster's going to intend to do and what the right play is. If you stay in the lane, you're just going to give gold to the Bounty Hunter, gold to the Razor.
Alright.
I don't know.
Trading, but through the wave, just to get that 4th stack applied. It's going to be okay, though. Bottle for bottle.
I don't think that's worth ever. Because now with the water runes, look, he did all this damage and P1's back to full HP, and you go, why did I even bother to do that, right? Whereas you're also in the same position, but you didn't get the same last hits of the Lina, who's now destroying you in the mid lane. Like, Lina should not be getting this much of an advantage. Usually it's a couple of last hits advantage, not this ridiculous difference.
Doing decent damage. Blightstone early for Hoodwink. Pretty standard now, but decent. It makes you better anyway at trading versus the Bane. At least.
Especially as a 5.
Making himself a 1 versus 1 matchup. Just having a fun game on the CK playing with the Reality Rift animation.
The CK versus Legion lane, I think the CK is one of the few melee heroes that can actually hold his own, if you don't count Troll as melee, against Legion. So, it's okay. And also, has kill potential with the Bane, which we're going to discover right now. Sanctified, oh, nice bushwhack though. And Sanctified will die, but he did get a Dota Plus quest, if you can hear that.
I wonder what the Dota Plus was. It to deny runes?
I'm not really sure, but he just got, I think it was a bushwhack or something. I'm not sure. But you heard that, right? You heard that? Ting!
I did not. I mean, observers can listen to those for some reason. Valve thought it was super important for us to hear those.
Yeah, it's wild.
But sometimes Dota TV audio doesn't work. It's, you know, priorities. Monster, Bushwhack, or not Bushwhack, Shikuchi. Shikuchi slow. What the heck is this called?
Shadow Walk.
Shuriken.
And then they hit the Shuriken as well. There we go.
Shuriken. Shuriken is not going to be long enough of a stun to ensure that the link continues for Monster. Literally, I've not seen this hero in so long. I'm mixing up his abilities with other heroes. Shikuchi.
Yeah, you have not called him a single bounty hunter ability.
Actually, I got track right.
It's true. It's true. That's the one you remember, right? Because you're like, I remember when track gave me gold. That was a good time. I don't know why I went for Shuriken, though. I usually would just go for the second point Janata. Like, obviously, yes, nice for Shuriken eventually, but just crush this DK. I feel like Monster's getting an unnecessary amount of farm, honestly, here. Where this lane should have just been you destroying the DK and nullifying their off lane completely. Especially because the CK is also not having the best lane, due to the fact that he decided to go for a squirrel far away from his lane for a while, so not many last hits to his name. And that means that Vol is going to be able to have a fair amount of impact compared to this DK.
Yeah, I think he's hoping to kind of use it as like the additional stun to kind of counter the DK Dragon Tail. With his slows, he has the Orb of Venom, right? And he's thinking that maybe the Razor can keep up and continue with the Link. That hasn't really panned out.
I can see that, actually, because I think... Well, no, because without boots, he just did a Dragon Tail, and he barely made it out, right? So I think with boots, you're going to make it out no matter what, right?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's for the early pressure. I agree.
It is better to max Shuriken on a support bounty, mind you. So I think maybe that's also the case. I just think that Janata in this lane is like really, really valued. And it's not like you're gonna do anything. Like as a bounty hunter, you have to. There's a moment of acceptance where you realize I am useless. I picked this hero to do barely anything in this game, but give my allies gold and occasionally act like a ward with legs. And the sooner you come to terms with that, the better it is for a bounty hunter. Because right now Ray is like, I'm gonna do so much. I'm a support. No, you're barely a hero. I'm sorry to tell you.
Very mean words from the man who said that Bounty Hunter wasn't that bad.
I love Bounty Hunter, which is why I have to be harsh with him. He's like my favorite child, you know? You gotta be rougher with your favorite child, because that way he grows into a stronger man.
Sanctified, likely very dead here. Nightmare and the Brains have to clean him up. Vol even with that 2-second stun could be in for a rough spot. A little bit of healing. Ray is here. What can Ray do though? Maybe even secure this kill on Sakadwa. He's giving chase. Shuriken at the ready, and there it is. Ray on a killing streak, and actually Vol living a surprising amount thanks to the moment of courage procs. Still will end up dying, but it seems like Ray might get a +1 here. Nightmare into arrow. Round number 2. Going invis, but the detection is here. Immediately dropping the sentry. Ray still fighting to the death, and now assisted by Sanctified. The bushwhack, and this might even be Godzi dropping the Shuriken. No, not that much damage yet. So 2 for 2, right? 2 for 2.
Yeah. But a good trade overall for, I would say, 5ManMidas, because Legion was going to die most likely anyway, so at least you might as well get something out of it, right? With the Bounty Hunter joining in. And there, by the way, most people would say, oh, look at Ray, he's so good, he trusted Hoodwink to come in time and bushwhack them. But in reality, Ray has already given up on his life. Yeah, that's it. He's accepting this uselessness, and that's what makes him so strong, right? That's true Bounty Hunter playstyle.
Zero also has 8 armor.
Yeah, also he has great face stats, which is something people should consider more often. Now they use the Shuriken, though, they can't cancel his DP. You probably should have thought of that. I don't think the Shuriken was that key to getting the Lina there.
No.
But
yeah, definitely should have saved Shuriken, like 100%.
It does not do that much damage, Ray. I'm sorry. So you see what I'm telling you? The moment he thinks he's useful, it just all comes falling apart.
No, it's slightly a waste, especially because Godzi's here to continue collecting XP, so it's not like any of this goes to waste. And now with Alina quickly returning with 7 stacks, or 0 stacks of Fiery Soul. Actually, not wanting to waste the mana. D1 didn't really miss out on much. Just, I think, 1 wave, or 1 creep even.
Vol? Vol? I don't know why you would continue playing this. Oh, no, he has no stuns. He used them all earlier before we came. Sorry. I don't know why Sanctified is tanking the Nightmare either. I feel like if anyone is going to die out of the 2 of them, it's definitely going to be the Hoodwink. I feel like Sanctified should most likely stay away from Garhua.
Where's the Marana? She is...
Bottom.
Bottom. Okay. Just trying to...
Oh.
help him.
And Ray immediately sees, all right, 2 heroes can't deal with that. Gotta go pressure elsewhere.
Disgusting.
And
How
TP
dare you
stop.
do this? And in fact, he's going to TP. He's going to TP top where he sees P1.
Radiant's bottom
So, hey,
tower
not
is
bad.
under
Bounty Hunter
attack.
beat a good ward. Oh, okay. I think a smoke broke. Braxy tried to go for the dust play. Tried to kill him with
Dire's middle
25
tower
damage.
is under attack.
Would have canceled the clarity,
Radiant's
right?
bottom
Dual
Out of
top.
what?
is under attack.
Bushwhack from Tool plus Tool. Shuriken doesn't do anything. Karakwa, they do burst on his illusions, and the illusions actually help him. Or sorry, help Bull here.
Hurt him.
Because they hurt
They
him.
reverse help him.
Fuel for
They
Radiant.
reverse help him.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Bottom
under
lane,
attack.
this tower is reverse living.
Dire's top tower
That's not
is
very
under
good.
attack.
Monster decides to stop attacking. He's going to wait for the next creep wave, but afterwards he's probably going to take it. He did go for the 2 points and breathe fire to slightly recover into this mid game. Smart choice. Otherwise, as DK, you really have no way to farm and just fall off really hard. But frankly, Razor left this lane a while back.
Yeah.
So Monster has a much more farm than I was expecting him to have in this early.
And Razor with not as much farm as I thought he was going to have either. I thought we'd have like at least treads and
Radiant's bottom tower
perhaps
has fallen.
a Falcon Blade up. You know, I thought that this was the kind of lane where Razor can be afforded that luxury before BKB.
Yeah.
But just
Same.
the simple Wraith, no, it is a Wraith ban. You got me doubting everything,
Dire's
Bounty Hunter,
middle
because he
tower
is stalking
is
for
under
Cutboy
attack.
here. Oh, okay, Bushwhack's gonna miss.
Bushwhack missed. Yeah, the master technique to stop the Bushwhack is just stopping in your tracks. The squirrels never expect that. Evil don't know, but squirrels are actually very similar to T-Rexes. Why did she just ignore the bounty runes? See, the bounty runes weren't moving, so she couldn't see them.
Dire's
And
top
Braxy will
tower is
die.
under attack.
What? Sanctified, my bro. This gave free gold to the enemy. They do kill Braxy, but it's not that big a deal. Monster's taking bottom, and this mid lane is also going to fall because of Monster's rotation. Given so much liberty, this DK actually had much more impact than I would ever expect in the early game.
Radiant's middle
Vol
tower
is also now in trouble as he's been hit by the arrow now. Alina's the real target. Viper has slowed him down. There's the pick pull, not going to do anything. Ray will finish him off. Sanctified as a Bushwhack.
Right, his track now.
In 1 second. There's the Bushwhack available. And it is going to hit the DK. Seemed like it was for the Marauder the whole time, but nope. DK, still another Toxin, which means his duel is going to be effective. He's going to fall. Not giving dual damage, but yes, giving the track gold, I believe.
Yep.
It's Godsey. Now that he has the track, Shuriken's actually starting hurting.
Cha-ching.
That's a mega kill streak for Ray. Cha-ching!
Stonks. This is going to be so much more money now for the team. Finally doing damage, as you say. And, well, this is going to really start to add up. I mean, this was, what, only 3 heroes dying, granted 2 cores and a position 4. So, you know, it's some pretty valuable kills, all things considered. But they still get away with way more money than they have any right to. 1,400 gold in one fight, a swing of almost 2K this early is kind of madness. Now the Bounty Hunter is starting to do economic damage in this game. Viper certainly a hero, as well as the Razor, certainly heroes that can take advantage of this. So it seems like they will now punish Ray with death. He tries to get into the triangle, instead finding plenty of stuns. There's that single target I was talking about, where, again, all they can really hope to do is simply give information.
Yeah, that's the point that Bounty Hunter. That's why you don't really like for him to actually snowball that hard early, because you're much more worth when you die, right? You give a fair amount of gold, and this is the moment where the bounty is supposed to like slowly die a bunch of times as a walking ward and slowly lose that net worth he's accumulated early. Or utilize it in one basic item, which is going to be the drums in this case.
Oh, drums are so good. Boots of Baron actually on this hero sounds amazing. He's got Aether. No Aether. Hold on, Lena's just dead. Okay, very aggressive move from her. Thought she was invulnerable with the invisibility rune, but instead walks right underneath the sentry and simply dies. Braxy on the run. They are given chase. Ray doesn't have any bonus movement speed anymore. Needs a little bit more cast range there for track. He cannot catch up to the cheesemonger.
The Falcon Blade point, by the way, you made earlier. I wanted to talk about this. I'm surprised he's not going for Falcon Blade, regardless. Like, you talked about it being a luxury. I think it's a key item on Razor. You actually fall... you run out of mana so early if you don't have the Falcon Blade, right? And like you can tell right now, right? He's actually out of mana completely, and your basic farming skill is Plasma Field. So I am surprised he's rushing that BKB so hard. I think it's because they want to fight earlier, and they just want to rush that BKB as soon as possible, but I think the Magic Wand and Wraith Band are almost kind of wasted. I know Wraith Band is much stronger now, but early is not good on Razor. He's probably one of the few heroes that, one of the few Agi heroes that actually can build Wraith Band. It's okay, because the armor is kind of necessary on him. but I would still rather see a Falcon Blade here. Like, look, he's gone to base like 2 or 3 times while he was farming. You don't really want that on this hero.
Dire's middle
Yeah.
tower
Not
is under
bearing out any
attack.
clarities either. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not sure either. That's why I was a little bit surprised to see it. And his farm has actually fallen off a little bit, or at least allowing Kadwa to catch up. There's the arrow and the Nightmare, good damage,
nice
but
duel.
Mirana was going in solo. And, she's gonna die. Full with 20 damage now.
So yeah, on the Razor point, to continue that, usually a CK is considered much worse farmer than Razor. Actually, Razor is considered a pretty high-end farmer in the early game because of the strength of Battlefield. This spell is bonkers at farming if you know how to utilize it. So you the fact that CK is keeping up, let alone beating him, even if it's only by 200 gold, it's not a good sign. Got Ray. Ray will be the sacrificial lamb here unless Bull wants to fight. Press the attack,
Saved him
realizing...
from the Chaos Bolt, but it's okay because they have more setups, more stuns.
Dire's middle tower.
The amount of catch on black and yellow is overwhelming from these like 3 ganking squad, and it's very difficult to get rid of them early. The only thing you can do is hit that timing on BKB on Razor and just 5-man.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing as well with the Viper, although he's not going actually for this build. He's looking to scale a bit more bots Dragonlance into the Blink Dagger eventually, as he's going to read the map well, but not well enough. He's just a little bit late. Arrow's going to find him, but even commit Fiend Script here. And, well, that is a very dead pickle. Okay,
Yep.
5ManMidas moving around the map, well utilizing their single target. This is very disruptive to what I thought 5ManMidas was going to be playing for. Black and yellow, pardon me, are the ones, of course, using their single target. Ray finally getting down a few tracks, but I thought they were going to be playing a lot more around this LC Hoodwink Bounty and trying to make these early track kills happen, as there's going to be just a kill onto Ray.
This kill not so valuable because Ray was not in the... Like, he's not so much just scouting, right? At this point, the enemies, you knew where they were, more or less. He kind of put himself in a difficult position. They caught him under a sentry as well. That's not the space-creating kill you like, especially after Viper died nearby. I think Ray in that position should have been actually closer to the mid lane, because that way you act as a blockade for where your support or your cores are farming here. Cores, which, by the way, again, are falling off, which is crazy that a CK is out-farming you. And now they need to utilize this BKB really effectively. Because they need a point of inflection here. CK will eventually outcarry this Razor kind of easily, and that's not even considering Lina. They will both outcarry the Viper as well, so you're in a... You need to start scaling with this bounty.
CK going for a classic build, a vintage build, right? Armless Midas. So he's got lots of attack speed, and of course he's going to start scaling beautifully. So some of this net
That explains why he's being able to beat the Razor.
Yeah, some of this net worth is fake or has not yet paid off, but the attack speed is well utilized, of course, on the CK anyway, so he's not upset to have those bonus stats.
Yeah, I think for most strength heroes that used to buy this item, like Wraith King, CK, Lifestealer, they can utilize it pretty well, so it's not a loss like people used to say. The Ninja Commander did get Nightmare, Lightstrike Array on top of that, but Bounty's actually dealing a fair amount of damage this time, and Nether Toxin will kill the Lina RL, sacrificing himself for her, as Monster does die in the middle of that. God Z will die in the middle of the duel as well, and there's the team fight they needed. Really well done. Braxy immediately destroyed as well by Wage, and they used this point of inflection beautifully. Well done, 5ManMidas. Even though the lead up towards that might not have been the ideal one, once they got that point of inflection, it was really well utilized, and they got the kills they needed. I think Legion might even be more important than Viper, honestly, early. Getting a BKB on her is kind of key this game.
They are looking to close the door as well to Kadwa, as he is farming in the camps of death.
Oh, he should
Ray's
not
going to
be here.
scout him. There's going to be the track applied, as he will give chase. He's just going to run away, though, with the drums. Enemies respawning shortly. They still have their offlane tier 1 tower. So,
The drums were bounties.
So a good back. Yep. No, I know.
Okay. Yeah, the really weird initiation of 5ManMidas as well. Once you saw the CK, especially with Bounty scouting him, you could have just waited a bit longer for Legion to come by and get a chance, or at least initiate with a bushwhack, not with the auto attack from Bounty. It's okay. It's whatever.
Well, they're gonna smoke up and
Midas
give it
don't have
another
the best
go.
gang squad, I guess. They can. They should totally kill him. I mean, with the Hoodwink and Legion, they should be able to kill almost every hero. I think CK though is a bit too hard. That's why I don't think he's the right hero to do this. Anyone, even DK is better because of the sharpshooter.
Do you get 500 strength, a little bit more, or 500 HP rather, when you activate Armlet? Kind of a lot.
25? Yeah, more or less. Yeah, actually, exactly 500.
Find to the match. Viper is dead.
Viper.
He's on for Viper
Where's
strike
it
where he goes. Now Razor
Oh,
joining the fight from behind. Bane deleted. Godsey should be next, and he's tracked and dueled. LSA into the Laguna Blade at least is going to allow them to get at one pick off, but at what cost here? Ray is down, so that's no more economic damage done. Wage as well, quite low. Worse for wear for him, but he's sapped all the damage now from the Lina, which means he wins that mano-a-mano. Katua, though, continuing to fight, will clean up shop for black and yellow.
The choice to fight there was not my favorite, and there we see the biggest apparent issue from a Midas is their lack of damage, right? Once you utilize the sharpshooter, actually Hoodwink is a big source of damage in these fights. Ironically, both supports are big sources of damage in these fights. The Bounty Hunter, something he does do, you know, I like to meme about calling him useless early, but right now he actually has enough items and stuff to be able to do stuff. And the track plus the Shuriken is honestly a bigger source of damage than what Legion, Razor, and Viper can provide, comparatively to the roles, of course. Razor is a hero likes these long fights where he can steal all your damage and make you useless, but he's not burst like a CK or even like a Lina. So there you kind of see the issue what happens when both supports die early. Good identification though of black and yellow, really good targeting of objectives, but also a bit of a misplay by 5ManMidas trying to play that fight. They don't have the option to constantly turn fights. Their counter initiation is a bit lackluster this game.
Yeah, and that's the 8-second duration BKB as well for Wage, in which he does lose the fight. 9-second duration went beautifully for him. At least he made very good progress towards Crusher. As 1 to 2 perseverances and nearly enough money for the second. After that, just a piece of paper to turn it into an orb.
Let's see. He's been tracked, which reveals more or less where Ray is. But he has the shard this time. That's a pretty big deal, actually. A shard will also make it really useful for Ray to walk into team fights. Like, just walk in as a moving ward and act as like an offlaner. Because that shard essentially increases your effective HP by 35%. Which at this point gives him close to like 1600 HP, effectively. 1700. That's Vol. Let's get killed off in the middle lane. That fireball's so strong.
And the good blade. So Ray is going to scout an enemy. They've got plenty of sentries at the ready, and he's actually going to break the smoke and just see about everyone. Both supports now tracked. Kind of a major deal.
Yeah. It's important because Ray can always, like, if they go for a fight, Ray can always snipe him with the shurikens or constant shuriken usage.
Thought about it.
He shouldn't. There we go. He discovered Ray as a ward because of the tracks. Well played, actually. For people who haven't played against Bounty Hunter in forever. I don't know, actually. Maybe in Immortal, NA pubs are playing it a bit more. But knowing the range of track enough to know that he doesn't have vision over you, stuff like that.
When we checked the most played heroes, again, just in all of public matches on Dota Buff, so not the greatest metric in terms of, you know, what professional players or what Immortal players are playing. But Bounty was still not in the bottom 5.
Well, that's also because the lower ends really buff up.
Of course.
If you're a Crusader and below, invisibility is invincibility. We got Ray with the arrow phantasm. But Ray, invincible for now. He's actually going to survive this. Fiend's Grip used instead onto Wage. That's been cancelled by the Shuriken. They should have killed Ray when they had the chance. And Braxy will actually die in the process. Bull still has the duel, thinks about it, doesn't. Karakua is going to fall. Bull still barely surviving Breathe Fire, though. Will make sure he doesn't. But them choosing not to kill Ray there actually ended up netting them to win this team fight for 5ManMidas. Shuriken counter initiation. Who would have thought?
Yeah, that 35% damage reduction really coming in play there. You could see that at full work, all 35% of it, which does make a difference. I actually can't believe how well that went for them. I can't believe they just started to ignore Ray. And one shuriken is all it really takes.
I will say, though, that chart, again, really coming into play. Like, he's really tanky while he's invisible, but that doesn't mean that you have to ignore it, right? I love his build as well, going for the mech and greaves. Rather than the drums, though, I would have preferred he's going for a vessel, to be honest, because he can't upgrade drums unless he wants to buy 2 boots. So a vessel would have been nicer, because at least it gives you some raw HP. And right now, raw HP on Bounty is so valuable. The issue with greaves is that you don't really have any raw HP to utilize them with. So they're only a cleanse and a bunch of healing, but they don't synergize well with your shard. And I don't really see the strength of the drums, frankly, in these lineups. He hasn't really utilized it to great effect.
Movement speed aura, as he's once again going to intercept the Moonlight Shadow, just standing in between 4 heroes. Makes way for the Lina.
I could have hit Roshan
Didn't
with
see
my
anyone
eyes
there, though. They
closed.
might have scouted that arrow flying through. Now 5ManMidas are going to make the smoke play. He's going to deward a sentry. That'll key him into some vision on the high ground. as they will now approach just right through the mid lane. There's the jump. They're going to look for Katwa first. Also counter-initiating. Subfridge as well. Buying a little bit of time. The track's being applied. Katwa is dead. The BKB'd for that as well. That's going to be another link and another kill for Wage. This time, though, is there anyone at the ready to cancel this grip? Yes, but they're just going to actually let the grip go. Have fake Wage lose all of his mana.
Nobody was at the ready. Who was it?
Full? Oh, he did not press the attack? Okay.
No, yeah, that's why. Well done, though. Really well played by 5ManMidas there. Wage, once again, they're utilizing this Razor timing really well. That refresh is clutch for Wage. That's when you actually, I think once you get Refresher, you do have enough damage to start proposing a threat against this burst, as long as you initiate. Also, they're starting to understand the value of Sanctify in these fights, so they're putting him in a much more defensive position, not letting him caught out early. Instead of trying to hunt the supports out. Well done. Good positioned overall. And Vol, I think his Kamikaze initiations have been perfect in this game. If he dies, who cares? He's just a Legion Commander. The dual damage is not as needed. That's why BKB is good, though, for him. So he dies less. But he needs to be that tank, though.
They get it done.
And no damage.
Can they get out, though, is the question. He was like, yes, is the answer.
Indeed, you answered your own question. They also didn't have Dragon Form there, so I don't think fighting was the smartest choice. Also, Viper's stock started to go up. RRL also playing a bit like the tank with Legion Commander, which allows Bounty and Hoodwink much more liberty this game, and that is giving the option for Viper and Legion to just tank, which makes more sense to this, by the way, the Auras build that Bounty Hunter's going for. If you go for Auras and you're meant to be the support that's going to go in and die in the beginning because you're scouting, it feels senseless because you're going to be dead. Your Auras are useless when you're dead. You're not Vengeful Spirit. But if the Viper and the Legion are preparing themselves to take over that role for the Bounty Hunter, and Bounty Hunter will be more of a nuisance in the fights than an actual, hero that tanks in and dies, then the mech and the drums and everything become much more powerful. Even though I still prefer passive.
Pressure on cooldown, still for 45 seconds, but bolstered by the Aegis. 5ManMidas sweeping around the map. And the lead is theirs minimally by less than 1k. Pretty back and forth game throughout. I think 5ManMidas finally in a rather comfortable position, especially after they kill the CK through his 8-second BKB. So it's down to 7. Not that big of a deal, but who knows? Maybe every second counts a little bit against some of your higher damage outputs that would be negated by BKB, basically just sharpshooter. LC up to 70 damage now, starting to make her way very close to that BKB. Will have it if they let her have the wave, but of course, no. Carry's got to take it.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
And CK quickly closing in on his Eye of Scotty. Our mid lane Lina going for the casual Crystallis, just a little bit of damage after BKB into Shadow Blade next. Fight is breaking out here. Finds a stun. Reality pulls him away though from the arrow. 3-second stun still stonks, but Wage is going to be able to fight only for a second though, as he's moved through quite quickly. Yeah. And well, he's got Refresher, but would rather not here. Still has 2.5 minutes left of the Aegis, so it seems like it's going to be Bull left behind. Arrow, LSA, all connecting. So it's just the LC and the Bounty that they lose.
I don't know if you saw there, but kind of a mess up there by the CK, because the CK went in when Nightmare was still up, and he Nightmared himself, and Bane couldn't cancel it because then he had to cancel his own feed script. So, bit of miscommunication from the two Peruvian players here on Black and Yellow. Which, by the way, we've now accepted as a Peruvian team, apparently, because all our voice lines are in Spanish as well.
Yeah, are they for Black and Yellow?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
so it's funny, right? 5ManMidas is Chinese and Black and Yellow are Peruvian, and they're competing in North American servers. Truly, the international community in North America has always wanted.
It's true. Great. Continuing to apply the tracks. Doesn't discount the Lina TP, though. Can't look to cancel that. Doesn't want to go too far from the team. At least not without Razor having his BKB ready again. 15 more seconds, so they will actually look for some action. Once again, they find those supports. Should be a relatively easy kill onto the Bane. The Nightmares even, which is going to allow them to reapply the track. As Shuriken is even going to give Ray the kill.
Got you.
Yep. That track gold starting to pile out once you get the Greaves. Those Greaves are clutch. This game for 5ManMidas are going to matter a lot for these team fights. An extra healing is not something that Midas can afford if the team fight is fair, because Razor can now tank a fair amount and so can Viper.
Yeah, unfortunately for Ray,
BKB's also on
he's
Legion.
not dispelling anything, and like you said, it doesn't give him any raw HP, but it's still a good item to have. A big old team heal, and even the mana. For
I mean, you can dispel the dust, right?
True.
which is actually a big deal for Bounty. Like, in the middle of a fight, you would expect Bounty to be dusted at least once, and you dispel it, and you Shadow Walk again, because now that he's maxed it, it's 10 seconds, the cooldown,
How
right?
do you kill this?
Most likely, you'll Shadow Walk before the fight
I don't
ends.
even kill Bounty. Oh, hold on, team fight.
Oh, no. Mirana's dead.
90 damage.
And the tower will take a while. We have no Ags on Razor. We're deciding to go for a Lincoln instead. Quite a defensive item, actually, to go for. But really good this game, so I understand
I
it.
guess the drums really help the push, don't they? No one else was hitting the tower but Razor, so, you know. But, not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, it'd be okay if you could build them into the other, what are they called? Boots of Bear?
Bearing, B.O.B., Bob. You have Bob and you have Bots.
Yes. I think if you could build it into the Boots of Bearing, yeah, that'd be pretty good. But because, oh, I don't know, maybe he builds 2 boots. At this point, it's not that crazy, actually. I know boots don't stack, but the effects are good. Right? And it refreshes your charges, which is the biggest part.
Every 3 minutes. It's very valuable.
No, it refreshes, I mean, like when you buy them.
Yeah, I know. And Boots of Bearing also refreshes your charges every 3 minutes.
Why? It gives you a charge every 3
Yeah.
minutes. It refreshes when you buy. Yeah, that's the key part.
Yeah, sure, but you know, if last game went an hour, right, he's gonna use all those charges for a tier 2. That's why it's.
It's true, but if this game goes an hour, you can always just abandon, because at this point, playing a long game with a Razor versus CK. I mean, you know what? I don't know. Maybe. Considering last game, I guess anyone can win in late game, but this time I do think Black and Yellow has a considerable edge in 40
There's
minutes
a
or so.
gem online though. Is it Marana's? Who's got this gem? It's DK, of course. Tankiest hero, Blink Initiator. So now, even though, excuse me, Bounty is going to be able to reduce the dust damage, that 25 magic damage by 35%, the Gem of True Sight is still going to sniff him out. He's in trouble.
That's true. So the Garden Greaves matter less, or the spell that they have matter less. They're only going to be useful for like Reality Rift, I suppose. Or Brain Enfeeble, maybe, using the Bounty. Not that bad, actually. Cast range reduction, pretty good. But
Oh, Didiran.
I think DK can die.
This is awkward.
Yeah. BKB is active by everyone. Good press the attack as well. And Karquak is on BKB, but he's been dueled. Way is stealing his damage. Just isolated him. The sharpshooter's waiting for him to lose his BKB, but it's not going to happen in time. In fact, Wages is going to die first. He didn't activate his second BKB in time. Bushwhack though for Karquak will keep him in place. That's going to guarantee a kill against Karquak as well. As RL himself in trouble, gets hit by the arrow. That's going to guarantee the kill onto RRL. Monster is going to continue leading the charge against Ray, and with a fireball, Ray will burn to a crisp. But not before getting a kill against Marana, though. Not bad. But still, that lack of a second BKB for the Razor mattered a lot. They got him with the stuns immediately. So he tried to play as efficiently as possible, and I think that killed him, actually.
Yeah.
Good press the attack, though.
Very good press the attack, and really good job by Ray on his first life. Basically tanks the aggro of 4 heroes right at the start of the fight. It's not able to stop the Lina from grabbing the... Oh, well, not. Speaking of stopping the Lina, they're going to try and kill her with the duel. Bushwhack is good. DK was trying to block it. Nightmare Save is going to apply.
Hopeful
No,
kill.
Bolt needs to back up.
Is under
Is
attack.
TP coming, though? Oh, no, there wasn't. Sorry.
That was a very hopeful kill. Very, very hopeful. But I'm glad they tried it with a Hoodwink anyway. Like I said, the Hoodwink is impactful here. Really, really important for these team fights. Which is why it's good that Lishi spare with the Bounty Hunter, because she'll be able to scale a little bit more. I think you'll get more time for this line to be effective, but you're kind of reaching your peak. 40 minutes, you're pushing it really against a CK and Alina. And they managed to get CK in that team fight, but it took him forever. And that's a team fight where Karahua also decided to isolate himself completely and fight against 4 alone, right? Without the help of the DK or the Lina, who went around to get a better position.
Well, yeah, they went back to kill Bounty, actually, because Bounty put himself on the high ground and started tracking everyone, and Black and Yellow were not about that.
Sure, but what I mean is that obviously isn't my ideal team fight for Black and Yellow, right? Especially when they don't have to fight with the high ground. And then the DK proceeded to not go where CK was, but rather, again, go the longest way.
Monster's almost got Acceptors. He's going to try and go. That's Black Dragon form online. Slyrak, I believe his name is.
Very important. I think Slyrak is the red one, actually.
I think that's wrong. I only watched season 1 of the Dota anime, but I'm pretty sure that that was the name of the dragon that is DK.
Yeah, exactly. But like, if the dragon changes color, then what do you think is the same dragon?
They're different dragons. I think Slyrak is the black one, isn't he?
Was he red in the anime?
I don't recall. I think he was black.
He is red.
Red Iron.
He is 100% red, mate.
All right, Well,
Look up Slarak right now.
Albo's a...
Google. Well, I'll cast this team fight and then Broken Viper, Dead Viper.
Use grip for it.
What color is Viper though? Black or green?
Pick at least green.
Yols is available for this bounty. Doesn't have creeps yet, by the way. Gonna set up for a potential arrow. No need, as a Dragon Tail instead. They also use the Chaos Bolt, stacking those stuns. Carqua is now the target. They use the duel onto him. Wage on top of that with the refresher. He has a second static link if needed, and it's going to be for the Lina, but she blocks it thanks to the Lincolns. They can't cancel his TP. She'll get away. Bushwhack instead, settling for Braxy. But Ray actually sets up by just putting his own body as a decoy. And it sets up for a kill against Kanhua. Pretty big deal.
Yeah, I think they...
Still not done yet. Razor has some fight.
I think they could have gotten P1. Viper was very slow on his buyback. Did not want to commit that. I think you buy back as... Maybe even as soon as that Bushwhack hits, because Weish was immediately off the high ground and saw a good opportunity for a fight with double Lincolns now as well to back him up. I think he was well within his right to try and take that, actually. Lina is hunting for a kill. Maybe can't believe that it's Vol all alone. Maybe can't believe that Vol was priming his Ancients, but either way, we'll do nothing about it. 120 damage now for the LC.
I wonder what his next item is going to be.
For P1?
Obviously now, yeah, people. Now, in case people don't know, Shard no longer is the super OP BKB. The Shard is kind of, I mean, it's okay. Against armor is actually not that bad, but definitely not something you want to go for. So, Legions don't know how to scale anymore. What do I do if I can't save my teammates?
Just build damage. Win your duels forehead.
Yeah, but what do you go for right now? Like, it's late enough that like the armlet builds are not so great, right? It's Dezo. They go for like a Dateless, maybe? More initiation? He doesn't even know, because he has 3k in the bank.
Maybe a Halberd.
Yeah, Halberd's good. I like the Halberd.
Yeah, I'm glad he didn't go for Blade Mail. I still see LCs buy the item, and like, I get it. You're one of the 2 best Blade Mail carriers in the game, but it never feels amazing. I don't think I ever see a Blade Mail get popped and go, wow. I mean, I guess it shouldn't for the amount of money you pay for it, like 2,300 golds, right? But I don't know, if you put that money into a Blink instead, for example, like, you get way more out of that than you do a Blade Mail.
Yeah, you're right.
Anyway, happy that it's not Blade Mail. Hopefully it's maybe a Sanj into Halberd.
He's going for overwhelming Blink. It's fine as well. I do like your suggesting of the Halberd more though. But the Blink is fine. Like, you want to go for anything that tanks you up, because you're gonna naturally get damage from duels anyway.
Lots of pools of fire, pools of toxins. Splack and Yol are going to be able to get to the high ground. There's the Slyrak form.
Well, I think that's the case. Anyway, Ray, he has the shard, so he's actually going to attack this nicely. Lina has been dueled. She's going to die in a matter of seconds, but in exchange for it is going to be Vol. A static link, unfortunately, got wasted on that Lincoln, so the Wage has no extra damage, which means he can't really fight Karpo head on. The big black dragon is attacking the bounty hunter and will eventually kill him off thanks to that gem. Meanwhile, on the other sideline of the fight, they do lose Braxy, and now the Marana ends up being a win for 5ManMidas, but not that high. They did force a buyback from Vol.
I don't know why Monster...
Oh, well, now it's...
Yeah, I don't know why Monster didn't de-aggro from Bray that entire fight, right? Tips him.
Well, because... now he's a dragon, he's a creep, right? So he just aggros for close to step.
I mean, it was just ridiculous. Yeah, now Vol's gonna tip him. I have no words for this. They're not gonna contest Roche, no worries here. But you can see he's just auto attack after auto attack. I mean, at least give one of those splash attacks, the ice slow, the poison. You know, maybe it makes a little bit of a difference there. But he's just all in there for the bounty hunter. In the meantime, Kato is getting kited around. Bane's Fiend's Grip gets absolutely cancelled, and he's just killing bounty.
Because I haven't seen a bounty in so long, it's hard for me to understand how much of an impact he would have in teamfights if he's still alive. Like, yeah, kill supports first. That's usually the motto in Dota. You should always take teamfights with the idea that you have to kill supports first. That's the ideal thing, the ideal way to take a teamfight. But obviously, certain supports matter more than others. And for example, killing an Ogre Magi, not that important compared to, say, killing a Rubik, which is much more impactful, right? I don't know where bounty stands on that scale, because a Shuriken does deal a lot of damage and cancels TP, spells, etc. It's a low cooldown as well. But I also think that wasting that much time on him alone, especially on your offlane mission, probably is a mistake.
I mean, I get it, but also, like, at least throw in a Breathe Fire to help the duel, you know? Don't BKB and just hit Ray.
To justify...
He hit Ray for his entire BKB duration. I mean...
I know. I'm trying to justify his thinking. I'm just saying. Like, I agree with you entirely. I'm just saying that I think that's where he's thinking.
He got away from the fight, and he did get the kill, so, you know, he feels good. He was almost level 25.
Right. Again, I just think he thinks that Ray is gonna have more impact than he's doing right now, and he wants to get rid of the auras as well, which is another part of the impactful items. Again, Greaves and drums not items. Well, drums yes, but Greaves is not an item we see as much. So, I think that's what he's assuming. Obviously, 5ManMidas does not think that Ray is useful at all, which is why they tip him. That's good. He's accepted himself. That's good. I think that's important.
That's likely to be dewarded basically instantly, but both teams know there's a sentry. Brax is going to get down from there. Doesn't like his position, but now he's going to like that neutral item. Has a telescope for the Bane. That'll be a nice upgrade to the Keen Optic. Bit of an awkward fight here. Both teams entering a little no man's land. The monster's going to blink and gank the ward. But he got it.
Okay, but that's Blink on cooldown, and they saw that. So they have a couple of free hits onto the tower. Shard on Viper acts very similar to how Pugna acted last game, where just like a lot of chip damage to towers. Also helps creeps hit the tower harder.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Good damage.
You know, let the tower go now. Yeah, don't go RL. I've been in this position before. Like, oh, one more. I can probably get one more hit. No.
Did show top, but she's got bots, so you know, don't take that as just a free initiation.
Is under attack.
Yep.
That is Phantasm used. My God,
Not as big a deal, I'd say. Because you have a favorable core-to-core matchup eventually. All you have to do is prevent the static link on the CK, right?
Speaking of that,
He did go for the attack speed, by the way, on the Razor, as opposed to a static link charge.
Gains or something like that? No, not quite.
All you need is Lotus on the DK, actually.
Is he going for a Lotus? Nope, he's going over Overwhelming Blink.
No. But he should consider it, though.
Someone should consider it.
Like, I think Monster's idea is that he's thinking his impact in the team fights will come from becoming the tertiary carry, which is fair. But you already have two really hard carries into the late game. I think you're much better off going for utility. So I'd much rather see you go for Lotus than overwhelming Blink, which is an overwhelming disappointment most of the time.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, just really likes that. It built it last game in Sand King as well.
Bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah, well, last game I think it was the massive luxury anyway.
Speaking of overwhelming Blink, Skull's got his now delivered. Makes a little bit of sense on the LC. Blink Dagger Canceller for someone who would like to trap the duel. I guess it's also a Blink Canceller for DK, but usually that's what his stun is for as well.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Into Satanic, another great item for him to refresh. The only thing he's not refreshing are going to be his treads in the AC here after this.
Radiant's top tower.
Oh, he was considering Butterfly earlier, which I kind of liked more than Satanic. I get the idea behind Satanic, though. I agree with your point about the refreshing and the ability to have like infinite, essentially, HP.
Yeah.
But I did think Butterfly would give you a bit more utility against CK, because if they catch you with a stun, I think they can burst you now.
I think the only danger, really, is with your BKBs up, you cannot be, of course, dispelled by the press the attack, so you need to make sure LC's around, or you need to make sure someone can cancel that Fiend's Grip, basically, during that fight time. But I also generally like the idea of the double Satanic. I think it's probably the Razor's most realistic way of winning these fights, at least for now.
I mean, will it not get to the point, though, where you literally cannot kill the rest of the enemy team? DK has 4.2k HP, CK has 5.3k with armor activated, which he can now keep forever up because of heart. So, I don't know, I do think you're lacking damage. I would have liked that about Butterfly.
Radiant's top tower is under
You already
attack.
went one defensive item too many, in my opinion, on the Razor with Lincolns. A great item this game, mind you. It's a very good item for them, but the build is not very common.
Whoa.
Okay, they initiate Legion. This time the duel won't be as successful, I think so, because he hasn't even used it. He doesn't know what to use it. There's a duel finally on Garquois just to keep him at bay. And they're trying to deal all the damage in the world to Garquois. It's not going to work, but it does save the Legion for now, which is a miracle. And Garquois will finally die as they all bunch him up. Braxi in a similar position. Monster, they can see him flying in that rift. And he will be dying there in dragon form. Gem has been dropped. Huge win for 5ManMidas, but I do question, you know, if you have a tanky hero like CK and DK as well, it feels really weak when the moment they initiate on these tanks, which are supposed to just sustain a bunch of damage, you retreat, right?
Yeah, I guess they just really didn't want the Link to pile on the damage, but, you know, it's...
But CK lasted forever, and you're like, guys, can we go on Razor? No, just let CK die, our carry.
Yeah, I don't know. No, I'm not really sure. Maybe they broke grip on the Lincolns or something. Or perhaps even the Lotus now that is online for 5ManMidas, as they will actually eventually be able to get the new
I didn't see.
barracks.
Dire's
I didn't see if I'm
I was
honest.
checking in the replay, I couldn't find it as well. I did see the green triangle go on cooldown, of course, but let's see what it was on. Back online, the Nightmare's going to be reflected only onto the Bane, and that's going to be a nice dual setup. Of course, this is a little bit of a hard counter, but it's not going to matter much when you do get dispelled at the end of duel. Rage, of course, has plenty of damage, up to a total of 180 now for the LC. 2 lanes of barracks already here, Avos. Could be Megas.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Raxi, okay, there's the TV from DK as well trying to defend this, but I think it might just be too late, right? Rage is going to hit this. The BKB activated just for the Rax, and that's going to be Rax stun. Megas once again from 5ManMidas. Vol trying to DP in the middle of this. Do they have enough damage to bring down Vol? They do not. CK is not alive. And he is the main source of damage.
Yeah, Lina without the fiery soul stacks doesn't really have the damage either, even with the silver edge. I was honestly surprised. I thought Lina was not going to maybe shred her, but do a little bit more than that. Not the case here. And Megas, this time 15 minutes earlier than last game. It's still a quite long game for 5ManMidas, all the same. They look to cement their lead here and secure the series 2-0. I mean, say what you will about the Razor Lincolns, but I suppose you could also say the same about Lina's, right? She also has gone for the Lincoln Sphere. Makes sense against Duel. That has been a very big threat to her all game. But if there's one thing that Bounty excels at, it's certainly breaking Lincoln Spheres. This man is incredibly annoying at that. Especially because usually other supports use like a really useful spell late game to break Lincolns, like Telekinesis, for example. I don't know, or like a Hex. Not the case here. Just track. No one cares about a late game track that much.
Okay, find the CK. He's been taunted. Carapua, sharpshooter on top of that. Carapua lost half his HP. Wage, gonna bring him down. That sharpshooter is the biggest source of damage they have, and they worked it wonderfully. Black and yellow without their carrying this ult.
He's dead. Double buyback. Look to at least give him one last fight. As Monster at least doing decent damage. Once again, just trying to kill Ray. Just dusted up, but otherwise taking all that much damage here from the DK. Jonathan recovered the Megas. They're going to go right back into base. Gonzi caught there by the Bushwhack. Good force staff into the Yules, however, will get him to safety momentarily. Ghost Jump is allowed to live as well. Viper is going to be able to spin on Monster, who is going to very quickly die to the right-click damage of Wage and Vol. Another Bushwhack here catches Godzi as the Sharpshooter even slows the Lina. Broken, tracked, and now, oh, not killed in her base. A great LSA finds two. Bushwhack is even better though. Vol tried to duel yet again in the fountain, but scrambled by the Lincolns. Doesn't matter, they win the game. 5ManMidas probably take the series 2-0.
That was a much cleaner execution from 5ManMidas in the second game. Really well played on the Razor, actually. It seems like they were much more comfortable with